it's Audeyah. Welcome back to my channel.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
In today's video, we're going to be talking about E.L.F Cosmetics, and I'm going to try to give you guys as much information as I possibly was able to find and put it all into this video, which will be a bit of research and a bit of a tutorial as well. And I'm looking forward to letting you guys know what I liked and what I didn't like, so stay tuned. We have products here pretty much to do a full face of makeup. And I'm kind of going into this blindly because I have not used the majority of these products. But, you know, that's why I'm creating this series, so I could be exposed to more makeup brands, as well as, you know, help you guys as consumers to, you know what's good, know what's not so good, and then give you guys some background on the company. So it pretty much stands for eyes, lips, face, if you guys did not know that. The founders are Joseph Sharma and Scott Vincent Borba. And what's interesting is that E.L.F has actually been around since 2004. I had no idea E.L.F existed that long because, like, then again, back in 2004, I was like 8. Anyway, so we're gonna get into the actual products that I have. This is the Dew Primer, the Jelly Pop. I have combination oily skin, so we're gonna see what this does. Do you want to know our secret? This multitasking primer has unique gel texture that works like glue to grip makeup to ensure it stays put. And then it also says that it's packed with skin-loving ingredients like hyaluronic acid and a powerful blend of antioxidants. Your skin will be looking and feeling its very best. And then it says to you to apply evenly to the face prior to makeup application. Once applied, wait 30 seconds before applying makeup. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. It doesn't necessarily mention any skin types that it's good for, but then I'm guessing that by the fact that it's called a dew primer, it's pretty much meant to give you a glow to the skin. This is what it looks like up close. It pretty much looks just like a lipstick tube, and then everything else is plastic, hard plastic as you can tell, and then the applicator is pretty cool. And then of course you have this. So we're gonna actually, for the first time, give it a pump and see exactly what it looks like. It doesn't feel hydrating. It smells a little bit like watermelon to me. I'm not exactly sure if that's something that it's supposed to be because I don't see it here, but let's go back to the package. Hydrating watermelon infused jelly pop collection uses unique jelly textures to give you lasting sheer color, dewy skin, and a healthy glow. So as far as hydration goes, I'm not really feeling that at the moment, but my skin does have a bit of radiance that it did not have prior to applying it, so I'll give it points for that. E.L.F started back in 2004. Long before I was even into makeup, but then it went public in 2016, and pretty much they just started to have more of a presence online, and that was pretty much because they started getting into influencer marketing and just having a better digital presence. So this, I would give it a 4 out of 5. So usually the next thing I'll do is go into foundation. This is the Camo CC cream. And then of course it says that it has skin loving ingredients such as collagen, peptides, and niacinamide. So this is 1.05 fluid ounces. And then it says to ditch your basic foundation. This color correcting cream is the only product you need to achieve a natural looking complexion, but with full coverage. A multitasking dream cream infused with collagen, peptides, and niacinamide, known to plump, hydrate, and smooth the appearance of your skin while protecting with SPF 30. So that's amazing already. And then it says to apply 1 to 2 pumps of the cream to clean skin using our E.L.F Complexion Duo Brush to achieve an airbrush finish. And then it says wear as a moisturizer and full coverage foundation depending on your needs. It's kind of hard to open, but this is what it looks like up close. So pretty similar to the Jelly Pop from what I could see in terms of size, but this packaging looks a little bit more expensive. I wanted to mention was like shade ranges. So for this particular shade range, you have 30 shades that go from fair warm to rich neutral. I think that's a good amount of shades. And then in the flawless finish, That's actually one that I thought was not gonna have many shades, but then upon doing my research, they have 40 shades ranging from fairest fair, golden, to richest neutral cool. And the reason I'm a little surprised by it is because when I went into the stores that they had back in 2018, I want to say, the shade range seemed like it was only 12 colors, if not 8, and the shades that they had weren't able to work for me, so hopefully the shade I chose here works. And then they also have a BB cream and acne line, but in my opinion both of those have a lot of room for improvement because they probably only have like 6 shades, and that's not okay. I'm gonna go on the back of my hand with the pump, and this is the color that I chose. I'm not sure if it's gonna work for me, but I'm really hoping for the best. This is my current foundation that I use. This is what the color looks like, and it's definitely much deeper. So this one is Clinique and this is the E.L.F, and there's definitely a difference. So the shade I chose is called Tan 425N. Based off of the swatch online, it looked like it would work, but it's very much light. So what I'm gonna do is apply it first and then go in with my actual foundation color so that I can have an actual skin tone that works, because if it's one thing about me, I am just not going to stop at the first mishap. We're gonna make it work. So definitely this color isn't for me, but we move. I'm gonna do one side of my face with a brush and the other side with a sponge. For that, I'm gonna be using the Morphe M446 brush, and we're just going to go in and stipple it out. Oh, this is definitely too light for me. Okay, so now we're just gonna use my sponge and go ahead in. I think this side looks a little bit more matte and this side looks a little bit more dewy, so that's that. Now I'm gonna go in with my foundation because I do look a little crazy. I'm going over the outskirts of my face with this so that it somewhat makes me look a little normal. I got the Hydrating and I got the 16 hour, which I've been using. I'm gonna apply that to my under eye, just like that. I'm just gonna apply this to the center of my eye. I use this one for my eye and then use a sponge for the other one. I also have other concealers, but the 16 hour Camo concealer has 26 shades going from true white all the way to rich cool neutral, and I think that this one would be 25 shades because it doesn't have a true white. It just has fair rose to rich cool neutral. So I'm just going under my eye with this to sort of give it like a brightening effect. The coverage of this one is really nice. I think I just need to find my perfect shade in the foundation, or the CC cream rather, to be completely satisfied. And on this side, I'm gonna use the same sponge that I use for my foundation. Not too bad in my opinion. Definitely erases my dark circles. I did not remember to rate this. I would give it a 2 out of 5 simply because I do like how it works, but I don't have the right color, so I can't give it a high rating because that's just not authentic. In terms of the concealer, definitely I would give this a 5 out of 5 because I feel like it's tried and true. The only difference is that I've never tried the hydrating one, but I'm honestly not disappointed by it. My only critique of this concealer would be that I wish that they would make them the same color, because there's no reason that this one is truer to my skin tone than this one is, and they have the same name. Okay, Connie here on YouTube had actually pointed it out to me. I have the Putty blushes, which is probably the reason I even wanted to do this in the first place. Like when I did my LYS video, I picked up several shades that I figured would work with my skin tone. All of them are infused with argan oil and vitamin E, and it gives you just about 0.35 ounces of products, which amounts to just about 10 grams. Say hello to that island glow. This lightweight but buildable putty to powder blush blends seamlessly into the skin. Infused with argan oil and vitamin E, this silky, smooth, buildable formula will give you that flush from within glow. I also got the brush, which pretty much says that it is a blush brush that easily picks up cream and putty formulas to assist in easy application and blending, creating an airbrush effect. Its dual fibers help to apply with a diffuse look or build up for a bold pop of color. Then it pretty much gives you instructions as to how to use it. So pretty quickly it says that you're supposed to swirl the brush into the putty blush, then stipple and blend onto your cheeks. To clean regularly with the brush shampoo that E.L.F sells, or a daily cleanser, and then lay flat to dry. That's a plus because I feel like it's so informational, the amount of things that they do mention on here. This is what the brush looks like. So it says E.L.F Putty Blush at the bottom, and then it has this nice flat dual fiber sort of look, which kind of reminds me of this brush here from the crayon case, but the crayon case one is for highlighter and this one is for blush, but it's definitely done in a different way. But one thing I want to do is pull on the bristles because I've had E.L.F brushes since about 2015, and I do know that sometimes they're not made correctly, so sometimes even without washing you'll find that you have loose ones. So I'm happy that with this one it's not, you know, falling apart. So now we're gonna get into swatches. So this one is the lightest one I got. It's called Bora Bora. This is what it looks like. It's very tiny, and this is just a comparison. I'm gonna use my finger and get a little bit of it on there and then just kind of like smooth it out. A little light on my skin tone. Next is Tahiti. That's what it's looking like. Fiji. They definitely have like a sort of powdery feel as I'm swatching them. Caribbean. This one looks so good. Yes. And then the last one we have is Maldives. But look at that. That's how much picked up after a couple of swatches. I'm going to tap it first and then go in circular motions. This is nice. So this one is the Halo Glow setting powder, and it sets makeup and creates a soft focused blurred finish. And the shade I got this in is medium beige because that seemed to be like the closest to a sort of banana color that I was able to find. Want to make your skin look like it's wearing a beauty filter? The silky weightless texture of this setting powder drapes the skin for a dreamy blurring soft focus finish. Created with finely milled synthetic sapphire, did not know that, sapphire particles to give your skin a soft glow, help smooth the appearance of fine lines and blur imperfections. Formulated to keep the shine at bay and ensure makeup looks and feels fresh throughout the day. Swirl a powder brush over the powder, tap off the excess, and apply onto the face and neck to set the makeup. I'm gonna give it a try their way and then my way. Press it into the skin, just like they said. Not so bad. I didn't rate the blushes, gosh. So as far as the blushes go, I would give it like a 4 out of 5. I don't like how it applies to the brush, but I guess I just didn't have the hang of it. Now I'm just gonna use a sponge. As far as the sponge goes, I don't like the powder with it because I feel like it's just settling right there. So now we could happily move on to the next thing, which is going to be overall face powder. This is the Sheer Tint Finishing Powder. Create a fresh, natural glow with this lightweight tinted powder. This silky formula provides light coverage, sets makeup, and helps to mattify the skin and minimize the appearance of fine lines. Brush on the face with the beautifully bare blending brush in circular motions. Can be worn alone or all over the beautifully bare foundation serum. I got this in the shade Deep. Hopefully that's not too much darker than my complexion. It's kind of giving contour powder. We're gonna see. We're gonna go out on a limb and give it a try anyway. I'm gonna try it first under here. It's a little darker. Yeah, this is a no for me. This one, I would rate it a 2 out of 10. I don't like the color. And as far as the other one goes, I would give it a 4 out of 10 because I did not like how it applied with a brush. So far, I'm not the most impressed with the majority of these products, but we're gonna keep going because maybe skin is just not where it's at when it comes to E.L.F products. So now we can move on to the eyes. And the first thing that I have here is Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in the shade Deep Brown, creating a full natural looking brow with a precision pencil. The micro slim shape defines and fills in the gaps to mimic the look of real hair. Then it says use the spoolie brush to comb through the brows for the desired shape. Using the liner, fill the brows using short upward strokes in the direction of your natural hair growth to mimic the look of hair. Brush through again and blend the color to tame brows. And let's get a up close of the point. It's pretty much rounded. So it seems deep enough to what I'm accustomed to. What do y'all think? This is probably the only high rated product that I have from this whole thing so far. I'm rating it a 5 out of 5. And I just really like the color. I have no complaints about this product. I'm just realizing picked up 2 of these powders. Let's circle back real quick. So this one is much lighter, and this one is the medium deep shade. Let's just touch up. Definitely a better color. So whatever my initial rating was, I take it back. Because now with this color, it kind of just ties everything nicely together. I love that for me. Okay, moving on. We're gonna start off with the Putty primer for the eyes. This one is in white, 0.19 ounces, which amounts to about 5.3 grams. Amp up your eyeshadow looks with this color intensifying eye putty primer that locks in eyeshadow for 12 hours of crease proof wear, infused with vegan squalene, known to moisturize throughout the day. This is what it looks like. It's a touch smaller than the blush. I've been using like the Juvia's Place eyeshadow primer. I set up already. Wow. So let's kind of compare it to that, I guess. So it go. Luckily, it's a type of texture that you could rub it out and reapply. So to me, it's kind of like a never-ending kind of blend, and I'm not the biggest fan of that, but then I probably just use a little bit too much. I'm just gonna go in with my sponge and sort of diffuse it a little bit so that it's not too harsh, and maybe that will absorb some of the products. So for eyeshadow, I had 2 different concepts in mind. The first one I picked up was this one right here, called Opposites Attract. And this 18 pan eyeshadow palette contains 9 warm tones, 9 cool tone shades with neutral and vibrant pops of color to achieve subtle or bold looks. This luxe formula is smooth, creamy, blendable, and ultra pigmented. Create artistry level everyday looks effortlessly with this perfectly arranged palette designed to inspire you. Apply a light shade all over the eyelid with an eyeshadow brush. Apply a medium complementary shade to the crease and blend out to contour. Then apply the darkest shade along the lash line in the outer corners of the eyes for depth or and a smoky effect. And then it also gives you a little tutorial as to how to do it on the back. And then the other one I have came in bubble wrap, which I found to be so cute. But they had to do what they had to do because it's so tiny. This is the E.L.F mint eyeshadow in the shade Chocolate Mint. I'm not going to use this one today because it doesn't really suit the colors or the theme of our season. And I also got the brushes that were meant for that palette, but I'm going to use these brushes to blend out my eyeshadow. So this one is a limited edition design for the Mint Melt collection. This eyeshadow trio includes a blending brush, all over brush, and an eye contour brush, all of which work effortlessly to apply your eyeshadow, which is perfect for the Mint Melt eyeshadows. The all over eyeshadow brush, you use this to apply eyeshadow all over the eyelid for even coverage. The eye contour brush, you use this to add depth close to the lash line and in the corner of the eye. And in the blending brush, you use it to add depth to the crease to blend out any harsh lines. Then of course they give you care instructions, which are pretty similar to what I had read to you guys about the Putty blush brush. These are what 3 brushes look like. I'm usually not one to take something out of the packet and use it right on my face, but they don't have a scent, so we're gonna give it a try. This is the blending brush. This one is the contour brush, and then this one is the overall eyeshadow brush. We're gonna do like a daytime sort of look because why not? So I'm probably just gonna stick to this side of the palette because these are more so for nighttime, and even though I'm leaving the house, it's not nighttime, so I don't think I should do that. So I'm gonna start off with the shade Cheeky, which is this orange shade right here. It's actually matte, so I'm a fan of that. So I'm gonna pick it up and then apply it right up here. I'm gonna use the same blending brush and pick up the shade Warm, which is this one right here, and I'm gonna put it just a little lower than where I had put the shade Cheeky. Just patting it on the outer part of my eye. I'm gonna go back into Cheeky and just sort of soften that even more. And then I'm gonna use the eyeshadow brush to pick up the shade Spicy. And then I'm gonna use the last brush to go back into the shade Warm again and just run it under here. We're down to our last couple products, so I'm going to use the H2O proof eyeliner pen, and this one is in the shade Jet Black. I've never tried an eyeliner from E.L.F, so my hopes are kind of like high. Oh, and by the way, as far as the eyeshadow palette goes, I would rate it a 4 out of 5. Because although it's pigmented, I feel like there's still room for improvement in terms of the shade range and how it works on people with a deeper complexion. As far as the eyeliner goes, this waterproof eyeliner pen easily creates thin or thick lines with intense color. The quick dry formula instantly enhances the lash line with long-lasting color. The felt tip pen applies color smoothly without smudging, feathering, or running for complete precision. Then it says, using the tip of the pen, draw from the inner corner of the eye to the outer corner, sticking as close to the lash line as possible. Slant the pen to create a thicker line. Shake well before each use. Give it a nice shake, and then I'm going to swatch it so I could see what the swatch looks like. It looks very pigmented and it's glossy. I'm not going to wait to see how it dries down because I'm running out of time. So just gonna go in right now and do my thing. Not too bad. It doesn't dry down to be the most matte, and from what I could see, it does run a little. Hopefully you guys can see that properly, but it's not bad. It's just not my favorite eyeliner, so I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 5. So we're going to try the volumizing mascara in the shade Black, and it says volume that hits all the high notes. This formula's intensely rich pigments easily coat the lashes for bigger, bolder look. The sleek and flexible wand hugs every single lash with both a vertical and horizontal bristles to amplify and define and add definition. Apply to eyelashes from root to tip. For an extra push, use the bristles at the top of the brush for bottom lashes and hard to reach ones as well. I don't really have much expectation when it comes to mascara, so I'm going into this with no expectations. I mean, it's not bad, it just doesn't look like it's really volumizing my lashes. Let's see what it's gonna do for the bottom. I'm not really impressed, because for something that's supposed to give volume, it's definitely giving length, and that's not the kind of mascara I wanted, so I would say this is gonna be another 2 out of 10 product.
Hey, so it's Editing Audeyah here, just basically letting you guys know that the products I used on my lips and the final product, which was my eyelashes, those products have since been discontinued, so I decided to not include them in the video. But I can compromise and update the description box or the comment section if you are
So
interested.
this is what we're looking like after almost 3 hours. I'm not very happy with it. I have my mask on and you can definitely tell that it was on. But the eyes are still intact. This part of my face is still intact, so that's good. But it could be contributed to the fact that I did not wear any setting spray. So that's something to consider. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure why I'm dewy given that outside was cold, but neither here nor there. So yeah, that's my one and only check-in for the day. Overall, I wasn't too impressed by a lot of the products I thought I would have been impressed by. I do like how my face looks overall. So my overall face, I give it a 4 out of 5. And let me tell you guys about the products that I liked. And of course, if I didn't mention it, I didn't like it. Eyeshadow palette, because now that it has grown on me, I actually do like how the shadows look. I just really wish that it had more inclusive colors. Oh, and as far as the brushes go, I did love the brushes as well. Oh wait, how could I forget? I really love the concealer. I feel bad for not mentioning that before, because that was always gonna be a yes. Like, even before I did this video, I just knew I was gonna like it. You can find E.L.F on their website, which is elfcosmetics.com. You could also find them at Walmart and Target, and you can also find their products at Ulta Beauty. And be sure to let me know what you guys would like to see next in this series. Also, let me know down below what your favorite product is from E.L.F if you tried it before. And let me know if there's anything else that you guys would like to see me try from this company. I didn't expect to be so disappointed, to be honest, but so it goes sometimes. Anyway, with that being said, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out any resources that I have in the description box or in the comment section. Bye!